Hi, I'm Marcus Cole with the West Virginia Soccer Association, and welcome to the first edition of the WVSA vlog. It is a monthly feature that we're going to be talking with administrators and folks within the West Virginia Soccer Association, talking about the various programs and upcoming courses and activities. Just another way that we're trying to keep you informed of what's going on within the West Virginia Soccer Association. Up first with us is Mike McCarthy, State Referee Administrator. Mike, welcome to the vlog.
Thanks, Marcus. It's great to be here. Appreciate you having me, giving me the opportunity to encourage folks to get recertified for the upcoming badge year.
Yeah, let's go ahead right into it and talk to us about what folks need to do if they need to recertify as a referee.
All right, excellent. So the certification for your referee license is on a calendar year basis. So if you became a referee anytime before December 31st of 2021, you might need to recertify. You can log into the Learning Center and check your profile to see if your license is current or not. But in most cases, people will need to recertify. So we have the process available online through our WVSA referees.org website. I'm just going to share my screen real quick and kind of walk people through that. So here's the website, again, WVSAreferees.org. We'll have any program news updates here on the left, which indeed mentions the recertification, as well as a calendar of events here on the right. And as we move closer and closer to the spring season, that calendar will become populated with events, cups, state league, and that sort of thing. So on the For Referees menu selection at the top of the page, the second item down is recertification. You click on that, it takes you to a selection, tells you again, this is the 2022 badge year. And most of our referees are grassroots referees. They're the ones who do the vast majority of the games in West Virginia and even across the country. So by clicking on the grassroots recertification course link, you'll be redirected to the U.S. Soccer Learning Center, directly into the 2022 Grassroots Referee Recertification course. You'll have the opportunity to register for the course. The cost is $40. If your background check, if you're over 18 years old and your background check has expired, then you'll be prompted to also submit the application to renew that background check, and that will be $30 on top of the $40. If any other license requirements are out of date as well, such as your safe sport training or your introduction to safe and healthy playing environments, those will be highlighted to you as well, usually on your referee profile. So if you come to your referee profile, you can look at the status of all of your requirements for your referee recertification. The recertification is entirely online. Can be done probably in the course of an hour or maybe 2 hours. And again, the cost there is $40. So we encourage people to get that recertification done now so that you are ready to go once the spring season begins for all of our participating leagues.
And I think part of the thing too that we need folks to understand is that if you need to have your risk management, your background check updated, that you need to get that done early, because sometimes that, takes a while to kind of come back. And, we've got West Virginia State League coming up in, 2 months from now. So, even though we got a lot of snow on the ground right now, we got to start thinking about that. But, that takes a little while to get back. So we need referees that are coming back and recertify. We need you to get on it right now.
Absolutely. And we have no control over how long that background check might take. It's not something that I can speed up. So it's important for folks to start this process early.
Excellent. All right. Now, what if there's somebody out there that wants to become a referee for the first time? What do they need to do?
Okay, excellent. We can go to the same website. Let me share my screen again. And again, WVSAreferees.org. And one of the top menu links here is to become a referee. And this link will discuss and explain the entire process. In a nutshell, you create a free profile in the U.S. Soccer's Learning Center. You take an online course. The new grassroots referee training module itself takes about 4.5 to 5 hours to complete. It doesn't have to be all in one sitting. You can pause and come back to it and work your way through it. The Introduction to Safe and Healthy Playing Environments module takes probably about an hour to 90 minutes to complete. And then for people who are 18 years or older, they also need to complete a safe sport training. And as we've mentioned before, that background check. So the whole process probably takes a total of about 6 to 8 hours to complete the online portion. And that can be done at any time. And other than the background check, at no cost. So if you're interested in becoming a referee for the spring season, you can start today and get a head start on that online work. To complete the process, then, you attend an in-person field training session. These sessions last between 2 and 4 hours. They are in person at various venues around the state. We don't have any of those scheduled for the spring yet, but if you go ahead and start the process of the online course, we will notify you as those events do become available. We're probably looking at one in the Charleston area as early as February, and then maybe again in the Charleston area in March. But our objective this year is to have this calendar populated, hopefully by the end of January, and to have several sessions at various places, Eastern Panhandle, Northern Panhandle, Southern Coalfields, wherever we can find a facility that will be willing to host such an in-person field session. Once that session's complete, you're a referee and you can begin accepting game assignments, both in West Virginia and beyond. And
That's
the cost
awesome.
for that is also the same $40 registration fee, plus potentially the $30 background check if the candidate is 18 years or older.
What's great is that West Virginia Soccer Association provides a lot of support for our referees as far as not only mentoring, but also as a new referee. Okay, now that I'm a referee, where do I get assignments from? Who do I need to contact? We help you find people so that you can start working in your local community and participating in the grassroots program and earning a little bit of money and having a lot of fun.
Yep. And if I can share my screen just one more time, since you
Yeah.
mentioned that, just to make sure that our existing referees are aware of this, back on our state referee program website, on the For Referees drop-down menu, we have a list of West Virginia League referee assigners. So these are the assigners, at least as far as we're aware, of all the leagues that are affiliated with the West Virginia Soccer Association around the state. So if you're a new referee or a returning referee, you're looking to get games in your community, or if you're looking to spread out and accept assignments potentially in other parts of the state, this contact list will tell you how to get in touch with the assigners for each of those leagues.
And I promise you, they will appreciate your help.
Oh gosh, yes, no doubt.
Yeah, if anybody who has played soccer within the last year or so, getting referees has been difficult, and getting folks out there. And we encourage anybody that wants to become a referee to become a referee. Have a lot of fun, and like Mike McCarthy always says, the best seat in the house to watch a match.
It absolutely is. You get to see the passion, the excitement, the talent, the skill, the effort that those players invest into the game. It's absolutely inspirational.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on to the vlog today, Mike, and we'll speak to you next month.
All right. Look forward to it.
And with us today is Tomas Oliveira, the Director of Coaching Education for the West Virginia Soccer Association. Happy New Year, Tomas. How are you?
Happy New Year to you, Marcus. I'm doing great. Thank you.
Excellent. Now we've got some
To a
great
good
things.
2022.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, we've got some great things planned for 2022 when it comes to our coaching education. Why don't you go ahead and tell us all about it?
Well, we spent the last couple months trying to get our courses together for these first 3 months of 2022. We had a great course last weekend in Fairmont, hosted by PKSA Academy. We had 12 coaches in the one coaching course and 11 in the other. So the more coaches going through the grassroots methodology, the better. So again, I want to thank Parker and his club for putting that together. We were also well hosted, and I want to thank the hospitality of Fairmont State University for letting us use the Falcon Center for that. So that was good. I met some new coaches I had never met before, which is also a good thing. And we went over the new play, practice, play U.S. soccer methodology. We have about 4 or 6 other courses that are scheduled throughout the first 3 months of this calendar year. We're going to have another one in the Morgantown area. I think it's going to be in Bridgeport. And I'm excited about that because that will be the +1 program that most people around the state, if they have been able to read your information, will know about. And just real quick, that is where we are going to highly encourage women coaches to participate, and we will reimburse the cost of the courses for some of those coaches. So we're going to have a day of grassroots courses. As I said, we're going to have a 77 course, which is a 4-hour course that's specifically aimed at coaches that work with U9 and U10 players. And then after we take a little break, then we'll have a 99 course, which is specifically aimed at coaches that work with U11 and U12. So we're looking forward to that. We're also going to have one in the Northern Panhandle. And right now we have one scheduled in the southern part of the state, in the Beckley area for early March. We're also going to have a D coaching course that will start in March and that will end in the summer. The new D course methodology requires a long period of time that's called the developmental period, where coaches work on some assignments both on the field and in written form. And we have some video chats and we have some interaction during those 2+ months of collaboration. And then we'll wrap up that D course in the summer. My guess is we'll try to start a new one again in the summer and then wrap it up after the fall. So we have a busy number of months scheduled for the U.S. soccer courses. The courses in 2021 went well. Obviously, we had to take a little break that were pandemic related, but we were able to get a D course in, and we were able to get a couple of grassroots courses in before we had to come to a hard stop. So we're hoping with a little bit of good luck and hoping that Mother Nature and some other deities, if you will, our soccer fans will let us have some courses in 2022. So the outlook is good for our U.S. soccer courses, and we're looking forward to going to some places we haven't been before. There's one that we're hoping to do in the mid-state where we haven't been before, and then we're hoping to go back to the Eastern Panhandle as well for some courses.
Awesome. And people can keep up to date on that by going to our website, wvsoccer.net, clicking on coaches, and then selecting upcoming coaching courses. That's where you'll be able to find all the information that you need to participate in any of these grassroots courses or any of the D licenses that are coming up with the West Virginia Soccer Association. And there'll be a link there. You can go and then sign into the U.S. Soccer Coaching Portal and get signed up for the course and be ready to go. So we're excited about that. Now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Top Soccer program here in the state. What's going on with Top Soccer?
Our Top Soccer program is ramping up. We've had a couple of different clubs and leagues start a new Top Soccer. For those of you that are not familiar, Top Soccer program is a program for kids with disabilities, both cognitive, mental, emotional, and physical. Shout out to my good man, Brian Yoho in Marshall County, who started a new Top Soccer program last fall and went really well, well attended. What makes a Top Soccer program is the energy and the spirit of the Top Soccer administrator, but more importantly, the energy and the spirit of the buddies, the helpers that work with these athletes on a weekly basis, and the connection and interaction that they have. And so we're looking forward to having a Top Soccer meeting, hopefully that will take place at the AGM on March 12th at the DoubleTree in Huntington, and kind of collaborate and have a brainstorm. And we'll also have a Top Soccer training for any clubs that have representatives that may be interested in putting one together. Don't tell the coaching education people that, but Top Soccer is my favorite thing that I do in West Virginia Soccer Association, being able to include siblings, friends, family members, et cetera, that may not be able to play what we call quote unquote mainstream soccer, or that have seen family members or their friends play, and now they get to play, and seeing the smiles on their face when they score goals. That is what soccer should be about, at least youth soccer in our state. So we're excited about that. Speaking of shout outs, Judy Green is great as an administrator of Top Soccer. So we work together, and we're hoping that we can announce a couple new Top Soccer programs that will be initiated this spring. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we're excited. We promote Top Soccer wherever we can. It's such a wonderful program. Just seeing the smiles on the kids' faces is wonderful. I've been to a number of training sessions in the Huntington area and have just enjoyed my time that I've been with those programs. So we'll talk more about that, I'm sure, as the months go on. All right. Well, Tomas, we thank you for providing us with an update here in January here on our vlog, and we'll talk to you next month.
Sounds good. Take care, Marcus. Bye, everybody.
Right now, I want to welcome Dr. Peter McGahey, WVSA Olympic Development Program Director. Peter, welcome to the vlog.
Marcus, thanks for having me. It's always good to be on the vlog.
Well, we appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. The WVSA ODP program had from what I heard, was a very positive weekend down in North Carolina for the North Carolina ODP sub-regionals. Why don't you give us a quick recap of what you saw and how our teams did?
Well, I think Marcus is it's great. It's great to be here. It's great to sort of kick off our first ODP event and kick off 2022 all at the same time. The North Carolina friendlies sort of provide our teams the opportunity to sort of jumpstart our ODP competition calendar, the opportunity for us to get out to sort of, we had some evaluations and some training sessions in the fall, and this sort of comes on board and sort of runs with the idea that now it comes into the North Carolina friendlies for our players to sort of compete and our coaches to coach together for the very first time. So it's always a little bit of the getting to ODP is a little bit of the getting to know you, because again, not all the players are able to attend all the training sessions. So we get to North Carolina, and again, our coaches were energized, our players are energized, our parents are enthusiastic, and I really felt like it was a really great opportunity for our teams.
Excellent. Next event for the WVSA Olympic Development Program is heading down at the end of February to Williamsburg, Virginia for the Virginia Friendlies. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think it's another opportunity for our teams to continue to progress and our players to continue to progress. Because I think the underlying piece with ODP is sort of always the question that I think is out there in the general public is, what is it? How does it work? Why should my players be involved in it? Well, I think it's in a really simple way. These two friendlies events sort of provide the answer. What we look to do is in each age group, we look to form a pool of players. Again, our hope is that it's the motivated and most talented players in West Virginia within our particular age groups. And then from those pools of players, then we select players to attend these events. And then these events, again, which North Carolina this past weekend and Virginia coming up here in a couple of weeks, provide our players a platform then to compete with the other top players in West Virginia against other top players within our region. And that platform then provides a really good experiential learning opportunity for our players to grow as players. So as I look forward to Virginia, as I look forward to our pools, I think we're going to continue to look to build on what happened at North Carolina for some of our teams. We'll look to add some players for some teams. And then again, we're going to look to go down there and make sure that we represent West Virginia Soccer Association as well as we possibly can.
You mentioned the adding of players, so I'm assuming that you're always in a recruiting mode when it comes to the ODP program.
I think it's a place that, yes. And what I would say is, I think it's a place where you use a term that's very common, that I think it's a place where, but the difference between ODP and club with this idea about recruitment is we're going to invite players into the ODP program. We're going to invite players or select players to participate in our pools. We're going to invite them into tryouts. And then that the players get to come to tryouts, they get to participate in the platform, they get to do those things where we're always making sure that we're looking for the best players, because as we know, player development is not a linear line. Players grow, progress, pop up, jump up, really progress, move into West Virginia, for example, even program that happens to program directors too. So all of a sudden now that those players need an avenue to be able to be added to our pools at the appropriate place and time within their picture. So the answer is yes, we're always looking to identify and then invite into our program those top motivated players.
As you mentioned, you are new to the West Virginia Soccer Association, new hire of the ODP director. What are your thoughts and what are your goals and what is your vision for the ODP program going forward in our state?
I think the ODP program, Marcus, I believe it's a program where I've been fortunate to have been involved in it as a player way back in the day. Been a state coach, been a state team coach, been a state director, been a regional staff coach, been a regional head coach, been a head coach of an entire region. And I think that the wonderful thing about all of those experiences for me, that what it shapes is that the ODP program, after all those years, after all those renditions, is still a really relevant platform for our players to develop and to be identified. My vision is very simple. I want us to be able to have the best ODP program possible, to provide an additional platform for our players to be able to grow and to be able to be developed, and then to be able to be identified at the right moment for them. So what I mean by that is that ODP, through its experiences, through our training sessions, through our games, are going to provide opportunities for our players to develop. ODP works in collaboration and in conjunction with club soccer. ODP does not replace club soccer. ODP does not replace high school soccer or middle school soccer, for example. ODP just provides another developmental opportunity vehicle for players. Anytime players play against good players, with good coaching, they develop tools, and they put those tools on their tool belt. That's what we're going to be able to provide with ODP, because I'm excited about the level of coaching, the level of play, the level of staff coaching that I saw this weekend working with our players during our North Carolina event. Really makes me optimistic about what other top coaches we can get into the program, because I believe we have a lot of the top coaches already, and I'm really looking forward to meeting some of those other top coaches as we look to bring them into our program to work with our players. And then I think it's the last piece, Marcus, is providing the opportunity for our players to be identified at the right space. So what happens is that as players continue to play, as they seek youth national teams, as they look to develop, as they develop towards their high school teams, college teams, professional teams, national youth teams, full national teams, it's sort of a little bit like the player pathway is a filter. They're going to progress, they're going to make progress, they're going to make progress, they're going to regress, they're going to make more progress, they're going to play, they're going to learn things. And what we're going to be able to provide for them as a West Virginia ODP program is, at certain markers along the way, we're going to be able to have identified, because our staff will be able to do that, the right players to be able to be showcased to the right people. And the right people with ODP is the people who are going to be selecting regional teams that move up, then potentially people who will identify for the youth national teams. That's another opportunity to be identified with ODP. And then again, West Virginia ODP has a long history of collaborating with what's happening, what I would call is sort of the new emerging identification platform is professional soccer, and the academies that are happening with the MLS is really there. And I expect on the women's side in the WVSA in the next several years to be able to have those, to have that platform with their academies for the youngest women's players as well. So that's where ODP really is heading, is that we're going to look to provide that professional first-class developmental and identification platform for our players here in West Virginia. And I'm really looking forward to meeting other folks that want to collaborate on that mission and get after it.
Dr. Peter McGahey, WVSA Olympic Development Program Director, thank you so much for coming on the vlog today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, Marcus.